Cornucopias is a cutting-edge open-world MMO set in a world where humanity has ascended from the Earth's surface and created a breathtaking new world in the sky. This fantastical realm is a system of floating islands carved from the land we once called home, now encased in radically advanced dome-shaped structures suspended high above the clouds. Each one is a futuristic marvel with its own unique environment, identity, and thriving communities. It is within these domes the epic journey begins. Here, players take control of their own personal avatar, which gives them the freedom to choose their destiny. Be immersed in vast landscapes, explore vibrant settlements, and engage in a myriad of activities such as crafting, commerce, combat, racing, and more. Welcome to a world where the sky is no longer the limit.
Hey everyone, welcome to Copi Cafe. This is episode 92. You've got Rob Gregg here and Josh Jones, and we're going to be talking about the stake pool offering. A little update on that. The nodes deck should be released by the time of this video. Little land discussion, follow up from last week's consensus. We've got a special guest that you haven't seen in a while, some questions for you, and a leak. So I'd say we're ready to go. Let's kick this off. Rob, what are you drinking today, sir?
Yep. Just going to ruffle my hair. It's a bit
scruffy. You should probably fix your hair. We should all do that.
I have a nice British cup of tea in a cup that one of our community members gave me in Vegas.
Really? It's a good-looking cup. What is that? Is that one of the projects, NFT projects?
No, it's just a nice, bit of solace.
It does have a solace vibe. Very cool. Well, I wonder if anybody guessed our drinks this week.
Oh, I can. Is it a Waterloo?
Well, you're close. It's a Rambler.
Oh, I should have got that. I should have spotted the trend.
Yeah. I think somebody guessed ours last week.
Yeah, they did well too.
Cheers. All right. Well, let's kick it off. So the SPO, stake pool offering, that typically known as an ISPO, we're removing the I because obviously our token's been out for a while. But that we announced last week that the bonus was changing from 105% Copi return to or exchange to 115%. So that's done well, and we just did that listening to some community members' feedback. I know I engaged with somebody in the Discord at one point. I think his name was Josh, but somebody in our Discord that was mentioning he didn't like the. There was some discussion around the saturation level, etc. But the mindset that we take with something like that is it's always better to go up than to go down. So
yeah.
So we've increased it, and the pool is at 16,500,000 saturation at this point. So not bad. And then you mentioned something, 9 blocks.
Yeah, we made 9 blocks now.
9 blocks.
Straight out of
the block. That's not too bad.
Yeah,
it's a good start. We're looking good there, and we'd like to keep building that up and get it to almost full or full, and then just have it sit there. But who knows how that's going to go? It's a good start, and so we thank you all for your support. We really appreciate that. And furthermore, it's helping to decentralize Cardano and the network, and it's contributing to the infrastructure of a chain that we really believe in. So we're grateful for that.
When we see everybody's chatter that happens in Discord, and every now and again we will take some action on it like we have here. So keep it up. It's all good stuff.
Yep. Yeah, we appreciate feedback and we are listening. So the nodes deck, nodes update. So we gave the nodes update last week,
Yep.
which basically announced that, hey, if you don't have the technical chops or want to mess with trying to run your own node and run that software, then you can have that provided to you by a public pool operator. And if you're a public pool operator and you provide that service, you're receiving the payments from those delegators that don't want to mess with that. So it's a way for you to earn additional Copi that does not influence or come from the original token pool allotted for the nodes. So cool announcement. And the minimum number of nodes to be a public pool operator is 8. So if you want to provide that service, and we're going to try to keep it, just so you guys know, we're trying to keep that as simple as possible. It may start off in the very initial stages a little more complicated, but we're going to get it as simple as we can for you guys to be able to provide that service. So if you don't have 8 and you want to participate in that, go out and get some nodes. It's still running on Base and Cardano, and it's going really well. So anything you'd add to that, Rob?
Yeah, the deck kind of explained lots of it. If for every node that you host, we kind of call them a host node, you will get 2 delegates. So because you have 8 as the minimum, that means that you'll be able to get up to 16 more. But you can also have a maximum of 10 host nodes. So if you have 9, then you'll get another 2 delegates that you potentially have, and then another 2 if you have 10. So that's how we're starting. But as I'm pretty sure as time goes on, we may increase the number of delegates per host node by 1 or 2 or maybe more. So those will increase over time as we test them and we make sure that it's a very robust system. But we're starting off slow, and then we'll probably quickly increase it.
And the actual node software, some of this is in the deck, so you'll see the phases that we're going through. But the developer we have working on that, Greg, he's doing incredibly well. It's moved along. We're on schedule, and it's looking great. So very exciting to be, our first stage of this, increasing our decentralization while also utilizing commercial grade. Producing and innovating with commercial grade node software.
Yeah.
Pretty fun project that I think is going to bring a lot of additional utility to Copi. And there's so much more to announce on that in the future, but we're just going to keep it to where it's at right now until we've had those discussions.
I think it's really important. It's part of our core infrastructure. And, with new software, things can go wrong or they can have bugs, which is why we're saying, for the early phases, some of them all you have to do is just register your node, whether you're a delegate or a pool holder, and you'll get rewards. And then later on, we will probably be more lenient until we actually go live, in which case, if you are a node pool operator, then you have responsibility, because not only, especially if you're a public pool operator, you'll be looking after your own node licenses and the public as well. So we'll get a bit more tighter with that, but by then you'll know what's required to host a really stable pool.
Yep. All right. So moving on to land. Last week was a pretty epic leak.
Yeah.
And
massive.
And you could describe that in a variety of ways. It could be epic because we're talking about releasing Solace 1, 2, and 3 all at once for the land grab. It could be epic just because of the size of the land that we've already got at like the final art pass stage, which is huge what I think I would want to emphasize is that this is curated. There's very little procedurally generated aspects to this land. Yeah. The entire team, and we're going to talk more about just the quality control on that with our special guest later, but the entire team of art on the art side, this typically takes the longest versus programming. So what you can do on the land should be, when we start developing that, going quite a bit more quickly, which enables us to have a lot that we're offering within Cornucopias by the end of this year. Hopefully, all things going well. So the fact that we have this amount of explorable land that's curated, not procedurally generated, because procedural generated, yeah, you can create vast amounts of land, but if people are bored because it doesn't have that curated look and feel, and it just becomes real predictable, that doesn't work as well. And nothing against that type of game, because there's ways to add value there, but we chose a very curated approach, and it's a tremendous accomplishment. So huge. And then you and I were talking this morning about we need to get the land rewards deck out.
Yeah.
So we're about to start heavily focusing on that. Rob and I are going to, we're probably going to have to meet with Ben and look at the full scope of rewards, discuss all of that, and figure out how exactly we're going to do that. But I'd say that's coming soon. And by soon, I'm not going to announce a date, but that's something that we're taking a focus on, because land is such a huge part of this.
Yeah,
year.
I mean, we do have some detailed documents on those. Now it's just the time just to polish those up and see and make sure that everything fits within our tokenomics plan, which they do. We just need to double check with everybody, because once we announce what those look like, then we're going with that. But
Yep.
with the land, like you say, and I think procedurally generating stuff is definitely possible. But I think people have already noticed that, because we've built all 3 solaces by hand, they all do kind of look slightly different from each other. There's different way the land's formed. Some of them are more rocky, some of them are more valleys, and I must have watched that video myself about 6 or 7 times, and every time you watch it, you notice something different as you're kind of walking over the mountains and the valleys. You'll see the color of the grass slightly change, just gradually. So they'll go from like a brownie to like an orangey, all the way up to green, different shades of green, and you'll see the different trees in there. And I think when we actually get time to spend time properly running around there playing the game, I think that's when you'll appreciate the difference between procedurally generating something as opposed to the human touch, hand sculpting and studying what happens in the real world.
Yeah. And David even had the team looking at geology, geological rock formations, like just all sorts of videos on that to help make it more realistic to what actually happens.
Yeah.
Which is great. And so much went into that, and we haven't even added the life yet, but that's another.
And other stuff they'll start adding signposts in there. They might just put the odd truck or something that's just fallen over, just to have random stuff that happens. Where things are procedurally generated is kind of maybe some of the paths as such, but they're still hand laid. So you will drag kind of like a path with the artist will do that, and then the engine will kind of fill in the different stones and the path just to make it look a little bit off. So those kind of things are fine, because you're not going to lay like 1 million stones within a 20-meter area. So that's fine. But the paths themselves are all generated by hand.
Yeah, we're creating efficiencies where it makes sense to, but it's still very curated. What I was about to say is that another way that we're bringing the land to life is with actual life. And we just brought someone on that started on Monday. This is somewhat of a leak. Our creatures artist who has started this week. So that's huge, because that should accelerate getting lions, tigers, and bears. Relevant animals that we'll be bringing into Solace, and that will give it so much more life as well. as well as adding sounds and signs, like you said, things like that, and then the ability to add land and start doing. We're really getting to a phase where you're going to start to see these things unfolding, and it becomes this amazing new world that you get to go and explore. And we're so close. So it's very exciting for me.
I think I'm kind of losing track because I know another artist started on Monday as well. So I think we have 52 members now. Do we?
Started on Monday.
Didn't Brooke start with us?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yep, that is true. I didn't realize that had gotten across the finish line to an actual start.
Yep. I think that's 52 now.
What does that say?
I think that's 52
internal
full-time staff.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a lot. So very cool. All right, moving on to Consensus. We'll be there. It's coming up in 10 days-ish. Let's see.
9 days, yeah. My flight.
Oh, man. Yeah, like basically 10 days. Well, you'll be traveling in 9 days, but 10 days should be, well, right around 10 days. The 27th is when people are traveling. And then on Tuesday of that week is the booth setup. And on Wednesday, the conference starts. So Wednesday, the 29th, 30th and 31st is when the conference starts. So
it's crazy. Yep. And you always have fun traveling. You know, my whole flights were all cancelled just yesterday. So I've had to rebook them all and rejig everything. And it's just,
that's always a
nightmare.
Mess.
You plan
Why does booking airline tickets have to take so long?
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll come up with an AI app where you could just say something like, hey, I need to book a flight from Austin to Vegas, and my preference is this kind of seat, and use this number for my rewards points, and blah, blah, blah. And it's, something to make it easier. It always takes way too long. And it's got your profile and your digital ID rail.
Maybe we build something like that in Cornucopias and then we'll just sell them the algorithm.
Rob just leaked it. We're starting a travel agency. Jeez, an AI travel agency in Cornucopias. So, okay. We'll be at Consensus. I looked at the list of attendees. I don't know if you saw that Matt sent yesterday.
Lots.
Quite a lot. Like there's at least 7,000 people going to be there according to the purchases. And I imagine more than that because that's just who's registered and linked up their accounts at this point.
Yeah.
So it's a lot and a lot of different industry types and service providers, and it should be great. We're going to have a video team there working with us to just get us as much content as possible. Scruffy and Josh will be there to help with interviews and go interview other groups. We're going to be on a content creating frenzy for this event, which I think is really awesome. And you know what's important about this one is it's our first. Well, really, we did go to ETH Denver, but it's our first having a booth official participation in a event that's not just Cardano. So we've done Cardano events, and we will again this year. We'll be doing Rare Evo as well, but this is going to be our first big. More of a broader crypto kind of exposure conference. So we'll see how that goes. To have a booth at a conference. We went to Consensus before, but not with a booth.
I think tickets are about $600-700, so to have that many people there, they really, really want to go. So they want to get some value out of it. For us, we will obviously be going and chatting with other projects. Like you say, we've got a photo shoot going. It's actually a good chance for us founders to catch up. We haven't seen each other since Vegas. So, I mean, was that August? Or was it October? I can't remember. That was a long time ago last year. So that would be good for us to actually do some face-to-face time stuff as well. And
it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. It'll be good to see you again. It's been a while. We don't get face-to-face enough other than digitally.
Get to work on my suntan as well. I hear it's about 36 degrees over there. So, I will not be working on my suntan.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Well, I guess that brings us to the point we could bring up our special guest.
Let's do that. I bet he's got suntan.
He might have a suntan. Let's get him up here. Scruffy! Welcome to Copi Cafe, episode 92. How you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic. How about you guys?
Doing quite well. You know what? I'm really appreciating your background right now. I was going to say something to you about this in another meeting. I got to get that done for mine because clearly you could see that I haven't done so well with my existing background. And this is, so I got to meet up with you. You got to help me get something like that. If not that,
Will do.
Maybe not that exact one. Cause we got to have unique.
Sure.
I might need to show my own thing, but let's do that.
Yeah. But wait a minute. Let's talk about that background because people cannot get to that position. You've been using some kind of, you tell me.
Oh, you're cheating.
We might have some tools in QA that I take advantage of to get an optimal position.
Yeah, look at that vehicle.
Yeah.
Well done. Nice eye, Rob. Nice eye.
Well, I'm looking at that vehicle. Nobody's seen it that close before.
All right. So, Scruffy, are you committing to helping me get something like that behind me? I didn't know you could do that in Riverside. You can use a custom.
Well, actually, I'm doing that through Streamlabs. So, yeah, if you've got about $200 and about 3 weeks, I'll be glad to help you out on that.
No trains moving.
Is that a recurring cost?
No, it's a one-time fee.
Okay. Might discuss that.
Actually, it's about $100. I take it back. It's about $100.
Okay.
Give or take.
50% off for me.
Yeah.
$50?
You get the friends and family discount because you're both.
Well, look at that. You've got the security bots running in the water as well.
Oh, yeah. Everything's running. I mean, we got the skyways running and the fountains are
Is that
flowing.
pumping live from the game or is that pre-recorded?
Sure. No, it's pre-recorded.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really cool if I was going live in the game. I'm just figuring out how to Tron myself into Colito.
Now.
Do what?
Just kidding. Well, man, you've been doing a great job. Your role is an interesting one. Like you've got a full role with marketing and you've got a full role with QA. I think most of the discussion right now is going to be around the QA and what you're doing with Ant there. So you want to give us a heads up on, or just give us a description of what all you guys have been working on?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we've been really trying to get our processes dialed in. We took on a few new members that are helping out a lot, and it's been a good challenge to be able to streamline those processes and really get them in line. And, one of the ways we've been doing that, obviously, is running around the new solaces that everybody got to see last week. So we've done very extensive work in Solace 1. We've done a little bit of work in Solace 2. And the guys are in the dev team, I believe, are still working on some final touches on Solace 3. So we hadn't had a chance to get in there just yet, but I'm expecting to be able to do that very, very soon. So.
But you are first-hand witness at how quick 3 came about. I mean, one we've definitely learned the techniques with it, but now how quickly did 3 come out?
Really quickly. I would say a good 3 to 5 times as fast as 1 did. I mean, there was a huge increase in speed from 1 to 2, and then there was an even bigger increase from 2 to 3. So again, they're getting their processes refined and they're being, much more efficient and able to crank them out a little quicker. I even saw a leak a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, of a cactus. So there could be some work going on in Esperanza as well.
Yep, we definitely announced that. But the not only are all those solaces hand built, you guys are running around them as well, aren't you? Could you explain the boxes and how you touch every blade of grass? We
are actually. So they divided up into each, as you guys know, each dome is an 8 kilometer by 8 kilometers, and they divide that up into 32 squares. And we each hop in a square, and we literally, David calls it mowing the lawn. We go up one side, and then we move over 10 feet and go back down. And then, we just do a grid pattern across the entire thing. And we're looking for various bugs, trees that you can walk through, rocks that spawn in trees, small things that are out of place. To be honest, I was amazed when we first started getting in there at how few airs and things like that there are. But, again, trying to get all that dialed in so that when everybody gets to hop in there and start going looking for their land plots, not a hair is out of place. But generally speaking, a lot of people probably wouldn't notice those things. Mm-hmm. But I think it's the attention to detail that's going to try and set Cornucopias apart from other games.
Yeah, to me, it's, when we first started talking about testing this, I'm going, okay, so already we are with 4 domes of 8 kilometers in diameter. We're larger than 99% of the games with curated land, non-procedurally generated out there. I believe without perfect data to give us that, it's just so large that we feel like we can comfortably say that. So then to say that we're testing all of that,
every square inch,
is insane to me. Like it scared me thinking, okay, we're going to test every square foot of that.
How do we do that?
As much as we can within reason. And the fact that you guys have already combed through all 3 of those, each workbox, there's 34.
We hadn't quite gotten through all 3. Like I said, we've done extensive work, pretty heavily in Solace 1. Solace 2 is kind of what we're focusing on now, and then Solace 3 will be upcoming. Okay. So still work to do.
Still, yeah. Well, that would have been remarkable had you been through all 3, because I remember doing the paper napkin estimate on how long this was going to take.
Yeah.
And even at what you're at now, it's massively exceeding what our expectations are. So you guys have improved. Some of the tools that Rob had suggested, though, have helped out quite a bit as well, right? For the testing
They have, and we're still waiting on a few more to make it even better and more efficient. But yeah, again, always continuing to refine and getting better and getting more efficient. By the time we get into Esperanza, it's just going to be faster and faster and faster. So yeah.
So when you're wandering around, do you ever just stop and just have a look?
Are you kidding me? Yeah, I fly around. I got to tell you guys, one of the things that a lot of people are probably looking forward to is figuring out where their land plot is going to go.
Do you know where they're going?
Well, okay. So I'll tell you a story.
You have an unfair advantage.
Well, I do. I know. And I thought about that, but I really don't, because I still go in the order of my rarities, whatever those may be. So it is a level playing field. Plus everybody else is going to get a chance to hop in there and take a look around and all of that stuff.
Yeah, so the mythics are going to go first is what you're hearing.
Scruffies, NFTs, and deactivate.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Sorry. Go ahead.
So when I first got in there, obviously I zoom out and I get the big bird's eye view. I'm flying around, right? Which I don't know that I don't think that
like a drone
that some of the other players are going to be able to do. Yeah, but we'll have overhead maps, that for people to choose from and things like that.
I hope we get drones. That'll be really cool.
That would be super cool. We'll see. I don't know if it'll be in time.
We've talked about it. We're not saying anything there just yet. No. But go ahead.
But yeah, I wanted to see, is there one particular area that I thought was a lot more advantageous than others? Kind of seeing where the natural resources were located and how the topography, of the land was. And I got to tell you, I got to give credit to the dev team, because I could not find but maybe 1 or 2 places where my particular strategy, I'm going, maybe not there. But like 90% of every place checked all my boxes. So as far as being equidistant from, say, a mine to a logging area to water to whatever. And to be honest, some of those areas that I said didn't meet my criteria might appeal to other people. I saw David come on here, and he kind of wants to be out in the wilderness, kind of off on his own. Yeah, maybe closer to a mine, but maybe away from civilization. So I really do think that there's an excellent balance, and that there aren't really a whole lot of bad spots on there. I think there's going to be something for everybody. So I was very impressed with that, and really looking forward for everybody to be able to get in there,
So
check
quick
it out.
question for you. Will you be choosing the location of your land based upon aesthetics or resources?
I am not going to tell you that, sir, because then you're going to come snag my. No, I'm going to do mostly resources. I'm a function over fashion kind of guy.
Yeah. Okay.
If you were to compare Solace 1 and Solace 2, do they look different? Even though it's the same
That's a good
artwork.
question, actually, because that's the other thing that really impressed me is that they do look different enough, but they follow the same style. They're similar yet different. Each one of the three of those, and I saw Solace 3, like I said on the video, and again, it's just enough to feel like, okay, this is still, they're connected, but it's different enough to go, okay, now I know I'm in Solace 1. Now I know I'm in Solace 2, and I know I'm in Solace 3. So again, I don't know about everybody else, but I would like to have some land in one of each. So,
well, me too. And even more so when you realize what it's like to work your land and be rewarded for participating in our land infrastructure. So you will earn rewards based upon your land. So if you got 20 properties, well, you got a lot of work to do, but that's going to be, a fun kind of thing for everybody. So I can't wait.
I've got a question for you guys.
What?
What are you drinking? Because nobody asked me.
This was very inconsiderate of us.
We've dropped the ball.
Very, very inconsiderate of me. Scruffy, what are you drinking?
I'm having a nice little bottle of taco sauce from Taco Bell.
What the hell?
Taco sauce from Taco.
It's good.
You'll be glad we saved that till later then.
Yeah, feel
Did
free
you just
to
take a legit straw swig of hot sauce?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why his face is getting redder.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah.
His headphones are
Parents raised us on it. Put hair on your chest.
I love that. Well,
If anybody guesses what I'm drinking, I'll give them all of my Copi points.
Oh,
If they guess it before
corn
this
points
episode.
from within Discord.
Yeah, corn points. Yeah.
I noticed you didn't say Copi.
Corn
You
points.
kind of said Copi. So I don't. Anyway,
I've got
Just
another
kidding. Corn
slight question going back a little bit back on topic. Is
Yeah.
how close is a glimpse of Solace to Solace? I think Solace had some updates.
Honestly, they have. I mean, it's similar, but Solace 1, 2, and 3 all are, in my opinion, just graphically, 30 to 50% better
Ooh.
than Glimpse of Solace.
You know the amount, the area that David ran across, and it was quite funny because I think he got lost on one of them. He said,
He did. I could see him.
"How does that compare with one of your boxes? How much area was covered? I've got no context."
It's really hard. He probably, in each video, spanned maybe, I don't know, 6 to 8 boxes,
Oh, okay,
roughly.
right.
So maybe a quarter of the area.
So we've got halfway across the map, or is that a quarter of the way across?
Well, the problem is now people are gonna, be doing the math on it,
Yeah.
and if I'm wrong, I'm really not sure.
You said 32 boxes. Is it 36 or 32? That was like a square.
It is a square. Did I do my math wrong?
34. Who knows?
You're talking about the
6 times 6. I think it is 36.
Okay.
I think it's 6 by 6.
Put in the comments below what.
Yeah, pretty sure.
And the very corner ones, are they just little edges? Are
They are actually, and it doesn't matter because nobody's ever going to see them. So I could say whatever. I could say there's 158 of them.
Well, you
but
can
no.
always be sure that here on Copi Cafe, you'll get inaccurate information from us.
Got that right. And the guests are no exception. No, it's funny you mentioned that because the very first box I ever did, was, okay, so you got a big box like that, and it had just this tiny little sliver. And I'm like, that one's mine.
I did notice that some of those boxes are on the corners, and they have quite a bit left.
That's why I love circles.
Do you have an update of the time, how long it takes to get from one side to the other?
You guys asked me that last time I was here.
Yeah,
and actually, if all you're doing is straight running and you take the proper path, it can be done in as little as about 30 minutes.
Okay.
Little over. But that's just one way. Remember, like you guys said before, we're talking diameter. So, I mean, if you wanted to run around the whole thing, I can't.
Fall off one of those canyons.
Right. And that's the other thing. You run into, obstacles that are mountains or canyons or rivers or things like that. So it's very difficult to actually pick a path that you can do that.
Rob, I don't know if you have any. Do you have any other questions for Scruffy?
No, we're going to be here all day, aren't we?
Yeah, we could go too long. You've done an excellent job working with the team. You feeling good about where they're at, and you guys are just getting more and more efficient? So
I am. We're getting there. So, I know perfection is unattainable. 100%. We're never going to find 100% of the bugs, but I strive for 99%, and we're inching closer and closer with every build, with every box, and so on and so forth. So I'm pleased with our progress. But yeah, we're just going to keep on keeping on.
Yeah, now we need to work on getting your feedback, the bug team feedback, back to the dev team to implement fixes. And so that process has been looked at, and we need to work on implementation of which are the critical ones, because that's with everything we're trying to get done this year, we're going to work on critical ones, and then we will have the data for all the other ones, which is great.
That's one other thing that we've worked on is the user feedback bugs. We've gone through there. We've culled all of them to eliminate some of the doubles, and we've verified the ones that are in there and are starting to work on prioritizing those so that the devs can go in there and take a look at them. So we are hearing you. Go ahead, keep reporting those bugs through the launcher as well. I know it may seem like they just fall into this bottomless pit, but we are working on that as well.
Yeah, because you turned, was it 700 bugs? You've trimmed them all down, didn't you? What was that number?
940, I want to say.
Wow.
And I think we've got them down to about 60 or 70.
So a lot of those are repeats. It's not that buggy, is it?
Correct.
Okay. Well, your background is amazing. My mind's drifting to custom.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and move on to wrapping it up. We've got a leak for you guys, and then we've got some questions. So Rob, you want to go ahead and throw the questions out at me?
Yeah, I can do. The first one then is from Scarlet Villain. Would the Cornucopias team ever consider fully leaving Cardano, like Taz, I think that's the Ape Society, have revealed that they would? Ooh.
No. The answer to that question is no. We chose Cardano as our home chain and our home community for a lot of reasons. And like we've previously announced, we have a cross-chain mentality. So we want to make it as available as possible for all gamers in crypto and eventually mainstream gamers as well. So we're trying to make it as easy for all within the existing tech constraints that we have. So yes, it is extra work to do all of that. But no, absolutely not. We're never leaving Cardano. This is our home chain, and we have appreciations for other chains for what they could bring as well. So yeah, that's the answer to that question.
Nice. Okay. Next one is from Cornucopias from the Mafia. Wants to know, is there a kid version of racing thought for the future? He's thinking Mario Kart style. He's played a lot of arcade games, and he was wondering about that. So, I mean,
we've talked about that, and yeah, eventually in the future, if we can get to working on a racing game like that, we definitely will go in that direction. Just depends. That's really far out. So we've got so much to deliver on now with the core game loop and even racing upgrades and all sorts of things like that, that I don't know when we could get to that, but I would love something like that. Absolutely. But it's just a matter of time and when we could get to that. There's so much on our vision already. But yeah.
I could see that happening. I mean, obviously we built the racing game for the esports, so that has to be ultra competitive. But a much funner version, maybe where you can shoot each other, crash into each other. I don't think we'll be throwing bananas at each other, but you never know. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun if the mechanics are already there, I suppose. Yeah, we got time for another question.
Yeah.
Lord of the Corn wants to know, the 8 nodes to run the public pool, is that per chain or are all wallets cumulative? So can you have NFTs across wallets?
Well, I believe the answer to that is you can have NFTs across wallets.
Yes. Yeah, that's correct. The 8 can be on multiple
Cardano
4 and 4, wallets. They can be on base
1.
wallets, all of them together. Yeah.
Okay.
They will all add
Very
up.
good. All right. Well, that brings us up to the closing segment, which is our leak.
Ooh.
So let's just go ahead and throw that image up there. Look at this. That's fun.
Now, this is the first draft.
Yeah.
I believe it still has to be approved by certain people. Things could change, but this is just kind of show what the capabilities of the leaderboard could end up being.
Yeah, I like it. See, so different.
Wait, hold,
tracks.
hold, please.
I know
I'm
where
in
he's going.
4th place. What?
I got news.
Who did this? Mark designed this?
You can't see this, but I'm last.
We just lost an employee. What?
I'm last. You can't see the bottom. You could scroll down. Here, hold on. Let me see. Can I scroll down?
And Jim is second?
Look,
I could
look,
beat
look.
Jim in a race. No.
Look at that.
What is up with this? Okay,
last.
Yeah,
Look at that team.
Okay, this is not an approved image. Just kidding.
No.
That's great. We have a lot of work to do on this still, I think, but that looks, for a first draft, I mean, design-wise, that's really solid. So always love the work that Mark does, and other than his choices of order of finishes on these tracks.
We're all sharing the same NFT.
425. What is this on the red track in the slowest vehicle we have?
I believe this is just test data. This is
kidding.
garbage data. I'm
just
not
harassing.
sure this is
all right.
league accurate.
I love it. Absolutely great leak, and
that'll be amazing because obviously from leaderboards we can have competitions and we can give
thank
NFTs.
That's what so what comes into this is we're going to have an F9 sale, and I can't give the exact date, but with leaderboards, racing, so we're really starting to build out a new upgraded version of racing, and that'll be happening fairly soon. So ideally, we start giving out racing rewards and for finishes and things like that when that is ready. So we're not so far off from that where we can start doing tournaments and things of that nature, which I'm sure Copi would be super excited to know that he could start doing tournaments soon. And things like that.
And not just racing. The holocaches were on there. We'll have fishing and mining. We'll have maybe just XP, seasonal. Tons to come.
Tons
this year as well.
All right. Well, you heard it here on Copi Cafe 92. Thank you for joining us, Scruffy, and all the hard work you're doing. I know you have a full plate, so thank you for everything that you're bringing to the team. It's a lot, and we really do appreciate you. And thank you all for listening. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So,
I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say.